Have you ever wondered why you can see exactly what you need to do to change your life, but somehow you still don't do it? Why you wake up with motivation bursting in your chest, but when the day ends, nothing really changed? Sounds familiar, right? It's not because you're lazy, broken, or weak. It's because your brain is wired for survival, not progress. And survival keeps you trapped in the same place, repeating the same patterns, living the same story long after it stops serving you. But here's the twist. The cage isn't real. It's built from invisible thoughts you never question. And today, we're pulling the curtain back, exposing every trick your mind uses to keep you exactly where you are. Think about this. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? Just one more day, right? Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes when I feel ready. But that feeling never comes because your brain doesn't want you to start. Starting means change. Change means risk. And risk means danger. At least, that's what your ancient survival mind believes. You're living with a brain designed for a world filled with lions and tigers, but instead you face deadlines, emails, and your own expectations. Let's go deeper. Have you ever noticed how your brain loves comfort even when comfort hurts you? How scrolling social media feels easier than applying for that job or studying that skill you keep saying you learn? Comfort is a trap disguised as safety. Your brain whispers, "Stay here. This feels good," even while something inside you aches for more. And when you try to step out of that comfort, your mind floods you with doubt. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? Do you see the trick? Your brain shows you the worst possible outcome first, hoping you'll retreat before anything changes. Now imagine this. There's a version of you trapped inside your mind, like a lion in a zoo, not because the bars are strong, but because you forgot you were born to roam free. The world has convinced you to shrink. School taught you to wait your turn. Society taught you to avoid mistakes. People around you taught you to fear failure. And your brain collects all of that, storing it like a library of reasons to stay exactly where you are. You don't lack potential. You lack a strategy to bypass the traps built by your own mental wiring. Let's talk about the biggest trick of all. Your brain confuses familiarity with safety. If you grew up believing you are not enough, your brain feels safe in environments where you're underestimated. If you're used to chaos, peace feels uncomfortable. If you've always put others first, choosing yourself feels selfish. Your brain doesn't ask, "Is this good for me?" It asks, "Have I survived this before?" And if the answer is yes, it keeps you there even in pain. That's why some people stay in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, or self-sabotaging habits, not because they want to suffer, but because suffering feels familiar, and familiar feels safe. Have you ever wondered why success scares you more than failure? Failure feels known, you've been there. Success, that's unfamiliar territory, and your brain hates the unknown. So every time you get close to breaking through, your mind invents distractions, excuses, or delays. Suddenly you're hungry, tired, bored, or not in the mood. That's not a coincidence. That's self-preservation disguised as procrastination. And here's something even more shocking. Your brain rewards you for staying stuck. Every time you avoid doing something uncomfortable, your brain releases a tiny hit of relief. Relief feels good, so avoiding becomes addictive. You build a cycle. You avoid, you feel relief. Your brain learns avoidance equals safety. The cycle repeats, and you call it procrastination instead of what it really is: emotional protection. But what if I told you your brain also responds to exposure? That the moment you take one small action, your brain rewires itself in real time. That the act of starting, even for 5 minutes, begins changing your identity faster than all your thinking ever could. You don't need massive moves, you need consistent ones. Your mind resists consistency because consistency threatens the old identity you're secretly attached to. Let's face a hard truth. Sometimes you hold on to your past because it gives you an excuse for your present. It's just who I am. I've always been like this. I can't change now. But the real question is, who told you that story? And why did you believe it? Your brain loves identity because identity gives structure, and structure feels safe. If you stop being the person who always gives up, always plays small, always doubts themselves, who are you then? Your brain doesn't know, and not knowing terrifies it. Look around. There are people with fewer resources than you, fewer advantages than you, fewer opportunities than you, doing things you dream of doing. They really not better. They just stopped listening to the tricks of their mind long enough to take action before doubt caught up. They didn't wait to feel confident. Confidence is not the starter, it's the reward. And confidence grows every time you do the thing your brain tells you to avoid. But why does change feel so uncomfortable at first? Because every new action is a threat to an old belief. Your brain protects the belief because the belief protects the identity. That's why you feel resistance every time you try to evolve. Resistance isn't a stop sign. It's proof you're moving towards something meaningful. Let's flip the script. What if every time your brain tried to hold you back, you took that as a signal to move forward? What if hesitation became your green light instead of your red one? Imagine the power in that. Suddenly, the fear doesn't control you. It guides you. Here's something people rarely admit. Being stuck feels safer than trying and failing. So you tell yourself stories to justify staying stuck. I don't have time. I don't know where to start. I need to be more prepared, but deep down, time isn't the issue. Clarity isn't the issue. Preparation isn't the issue. Courage is the issue, and courage only appears after you move. Have you ever thought about how your brain filters information? It ignores anything that doesn't match your identity. If you believe you're not capable, your brain highlights every mistake you make and ignores every success. Because your mind loves being right even when being right keeps you miserable. So what would happen if you questioned every thought instead of obeying it? What if the voice holding you back isn't truth, just conditioning? Let's tell a quick story. Imagine a man named Daniel who always dreamed of becoming a photographer. He bought a camera but never used it. Every day he said he'd start tomorrow. Years passed. One day he met someone who admired photography but never had the chance to try. They asked Daniel for advice. In that moment, Daniel realized he had the knowledge, the tools, the passion, but zero experience because he let his brain convince him he wasn't ready. He didn't lack talent. He lacked action. And action is what turns dreams into memories or regrets. Which one are you building? Now think about this. Your brain is plastic, not in the toy sense, but in the scientific sense. It changes based on what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly avoid challenges, your brain becomes excellent at avoidance. If you repeatedly take action despite discomfort, your brain becomes excellent at resilience. Whatever you practice, you become. So ask yourself, what have you been practicing lately? Here's a strange truth. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. Motivation comes and goes like the wind, but momentum builds like a fire. You get momentum by doing, not by thinking. And once momentum starts, your brain shifts from avoid to continue because progress becomes familiar and familiar becomes safe. Let's talk about the fear of judgment. Why do you care what people think, because your brain evolved in tribes where rejection meant death. Today, rejection just means someone disagrees, but your brain reacts like you're being abandoned by your whole village, so you silence yourself to survive a threat that doesn't exist anymore. And what about perfectionism? Perfectionism is procrastination, wearing fancy clothes. You wait until conditions are ideal, but conditions never are. Perfection protects your ego but kills your growth. Do you want to look flawless or become unstoppable? Take a moment and reflect. How many dreams have you postponed waiting for the right time? What if the right time is the moment you decide it is? What if progress doesn't require permission, just a choice? Let's give your brain a new job. Instead of protecting your comfort, let it protect your vision. Instead of avoiding risk, let it calculate it. Instead of replaying past failures, let it imagine future wins. Your brain isn't your enemy. It just needs new instructions. Here's the key. Your thoughts are not commands. Your feelings are not facts. Your doubts are not destiny. They're signals data, nothing more. And data can be interpreted differently once you choose a new direction. Remember this. You can't think your way into a new life. You act your way into one. Action reshapes identity. Identity reshapes beliefs. Beliefs reshape thoughts. Thoughts reshape feelings, and feelings reshape your life. But everything starts with action. So ask yourself right now, what's one small step you've avoided for far too long? What would happen if you did it today? Not perfectly, just honestly. Imagine the version of you who no longer waits, who no longer hesitates, who no longer negotiates with their limitations. That version of you already exists. You just haven't met them yet because your brain keeps introducing you to the old one. But today, you get to choose who you meet first, your fears or your fury. The truth is simple. You're not stuck because you can't move. You're stuck because you keep waiting for permission to move. Consider this your permission. Your brain may trick you into staying stuck, but you can outsmart it by starting before you're ready, moving before you feel confident, and acting before the excuses arrive. Because the moment you do, your comfort zone shifts, your identity evolves, and your future finally begins. So tell me, are you ready to stop living the same day on repeat? Are you ready to stop thinking and start becoming? If the answer is yes, then don't wait another second. Take the smallest step you can today, because the future won't change until you do. And when your brain whispers, stay here, it's safe, you whisper back, safe isn't who I'm becoming. The choice is still yours. But now you know the tricks, and once you see the cage, you can't pretend it's invisible anymore. So what's your move?